There are many favored sites for rail fans around the world. California has its share. There is the legendary Donner Pass, rising some 7,000 feet through tunnels and snow sheds in the Sierra Nevada. There is the spectacular Feather River route of the Western Pacific, with the unique Ketty Y and the Williams Loop. But there is none more iconic than the storied Mojave Subdivision on the Union Pacific route between Bakersfield and Mojave, and the centerpiece of that route, the famed Tehachapi Loop, is the target of rail fans and modelers alike.
I started out here in Madera about 1973 in a basement out here in the country on Road 29, and it was the same thing. It was set up for operation. There was a where the stairs came down into the basement. I had a staging yard that was about 8 feet long that set there, and there was a Y that went to it, so you could have the westbounds and eastbounds both ended up in there. It was like a loop of track with a Y at one end where the stairs were at. And it was the same thing. It was Bakersfield to Tehachapi with a little bit of running in between. And some of the structures and ideas that I have here. Then I came here, and when we moved here in 1980, this was a cabinet shop. And I added this 10-foot L-shaped around the guy's cabinet shop that was in this main part, 24 by 28. So now it's like 34 by 38. And I built the first layout. Most everything was in the main part. And then Bakersfield was here and Edison was there. But the loop was all in the main part. And Bealville was as far to the east wall that you got. But now I shoved everything 5 foot this way. And it got more into the first layout. There was actually cable crossover and Tehachapi were up above this whole area, and the staging yard was over there above Bena, and that was people had step ladders, and we had some short ladders and step stools and all kinds of things, and what a mess that was. Okay, this is Bakersfield. It runs from the staging yard, which represents Stockton, Fresno, points west, through Bakersfield, Edison, up the mountain to past Mojave. Well, actually Mojave is the staging yard. We call Mojave is the staging yard on the east end. And there's about 12 tracks, there are 12 tracks up there. On a normal operating session we run about 26 trains. We have a few extras that start at Bakersfield. We have maybe 2 locals. We have an Edison turn that works the packing sheds. We take cars out of trains. Some are through trains. Some trains have set-outs for Bakersfield. Then we have, of course, there's local switching down here, along here. That we call this is the South Side Industrial. This is would be south of Kern Junction, which is right here. This is Kern Junction.
How often do you operate?
We operate once a month, third Saturdays, usually start about 9 o'clock, go to about 1. We'll take a break for 20 minutes or so to have a little lunch.
Okay, SP 8462 West, East, clear to proceed. Clear to proceed. Yeah, pretty good. So remember that you can't enter the CTC territory until you get clearance from the dispatcher. So when you reach Bakersfield, you'll need to call me.
Yeah, I'm at Bakersfield right now.
Okay.
But I'm on the main, there's a little car.
Okay.
So the bull has all the way on the main.
This is the new layout that was started in 2008. That other one, 2008, was being ripped out. I started this one in 2008 and just shoved everything that way 5 feet. I just redid the building. We did a ceiling. Before it was more like a barn. It was all open. It got very hot in here. We'd usually be chased out by noon on a Saturday in the summertime. Well, the second layout was actually quite a bit more landscape than this one, except the upper part. But all the lower part had mountains and scenery and trees and everything, and some of these guys thought, well, you should rip that out, but you know, it's like it's an ongoing project.
Okay, did you hear that okay? What? Who?
He said he heard
I'm being silent because that's what we're supposed to do.
Okay,
Foghorn Leghorn.
as long as we're not silent but deadly. So.
The railroaders call it Quantico. That's what I try to get them to say is Quantico. It's not Quantico. The first Edison, the other layout had, I think it had 2 packing sheds. It had this one was on there, and there was another one. And that was it. This time I said, I'm having packing sheds, and you're all going to have 2 spur tracks, and you have to tell guys, okay, now, you know, what they do is they load the outside cars first through the doors of the first ramp. Like, well, you can't see it. It's like when you're doubled like this, these doors will be open, the forklifts are going to go through forklifts or a guy carrying a sack of potatoes. It's going to go out, and they load the outside cars first, so those outside cars get pulled first. Anyway, I said I'm going to have plenty of tracks for reefers, and it's going to be, I mean, I can spend 2 hours right here just switching cars.
Mojave, okay, thank you. Here we go, out.
Oh yeah, you could. Okay. Am I clear yet? Keep going.
There's 400 feet of main line from right here to the throat of the staging yard above. Compression-wise, Illman siding doesn't exist, Marcel doesn't exist, Rowan doesn't exist. I think Cliff is not here, not represented. There's Tunnel 5, but there's no Cliff siding right past that.
Rolling stock. How many locomotives do you have on this layout?
At one time, I think there's probably 60 that you can see, and then there's more hidden away someplace.
So, do you have a specific date that you're trying to model?
Well, it's kind of stretched. It's no, I don't pick a month or something like that. It's sometime in the early 70s, 71 to about 74 or 75, something like that.
Okay. All right.
And I've been, picking up like more 40-foot box cars because they lasted a long time. They were 40-foot cars all through the 70s, some with roof walk, some without. So you'll see 40-foot cars. Cars that were built in the 40s and the 50s. They got a 40-year life, so they're still around. So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to get the new stuff, it's coming off, and trying to backdate everything. So you'll see some things like, somebody will say, well, there's a car from the 1990s, and that comes off.
This is Tehachapi version 3. Are you going to finish this one, or are you going to start on a version 4?
I think this is it. I'll have to finish this one. Let's see if I've got enough time to finish this one.